What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm here with my guys. To my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
Marathon day.
Feels like we were just here, because we were. And to my left, Mr. Brendan Dunne. A little outfit change. All three outfit change.
Yeah.
We're here.
You're pulling
Look at
back
the energy.
curtain. They don't even know what we're changing outfits for.
I know.
We shot a couple episodes today.
Yeah, we did, but it's okay.
You know what? I almost want to make a reference. We'll just say this. Welty said we're in a marathon, right?
Yeah.
And they're never going to get it off
the marathon
that, okay.
thing is an Easter egg. So Welty is, he's making reference to a marathon and all the work we're doing for a marathon and how much of a task a marathon is as an analogy or, just a turn of phrase. And when you hear the next episode, you will understand.
With some marathon talk.
Right?
Yeah. Well, no, that really wasn't my analogy that I was making at all.
All right. Listen.
Keep it.
Double header. Here we are. Weather in New York, not great. Energy is still up.
Yeah, my energy's up.
We all wore our beaters. Not you. Look at you. What are you on, Mulberry Street all of a sudden? You came from Mulberry Street and through the slush?
There was a joke that someone made online recently where they were like, it's kind of weird that Brendan's become the Jown guy and I've become the Tom Sachs guy. we swapped.
Yeah, but you have.
I know. But you made the Mulberry joke in my head. That's where it went.
Do you think you were ever the Jown guy like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
But you feel like you're going toward Tom Sachs guy territory?
No, just because I got the one Tom Sachs shoe, which thanks for the assist on. I haven't worn them yet.
I wanted a wear test report.
Let me tell you, this guy handing out assists like Chris Paul. Okay.
He never won a ring though, right?
No.
Okay. So let's end the comparisons
they just got
right
KD
there.
though.
Oh right.
They just got KD.
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, maybe now's your shot.
from my Brooklyn Nets, my team.
Maybe this season's the season. Maybe we'll both get rings. Maybe you and Katie will get rings. Katie has rings, but anyway, how we doing? It's been a while.
No, it hasn't.
I know.
Good transition. We just made a joke about Mulberry Street,
yep.
Right? Was that book? It Happened on Mulberry Street, Dr. Seuss.
Is that the book?
There's a Dr. Seuss book.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Speaking of Dr. Seuss, Joe.
Okay. Do you know where he's going?
Nope.
Me neither.
Joe, not Joe, Doppelganger.
Oh, yes, I know where he's going.
Hassan Minhaj.
Yes.
Daily
Brought out the
Show.
MSCHF for the Daily Show, and he got that Giannis clip. Did you see it today?
What,
I know we've been
what did
busy.
he wear it with?
Let's see.
He had the Cat in the Hat
Yeah,
outfit
it was just
on, right?
the Cat in the Hat.
Got it.
With the big red boots on.
I focused on the boots, but yeah.
Welty, I know you're sick of seeing the boots.
Maybe I'll shout out to our friend.
Yep.
But now seeing them in they were always kind of funny to begin with, but seeing them as an actual costume at this point, it's like, all right, enough.
Yeah, but like I said a couple of weeks ago, wait till Halloween.
Yeah.
They're going to be all back.
I want to see Welty in the Astro Boy costume come Halloween because you're an Astro Boy fan.
What was your last Halloween costume?
I've never dressed up.
Wait, I thought.
Wait,
hold on.
Full stop?
No, as an adult.
Oh, I thought. Why did I think you were Woody from Toy Story a couple of weeks?
No.
No. What is that? That was my friend Andrew. Sorry. All right. Yeah, I haven't dressed up in a while. Maybe you bring the boots out though. No.
I don't have that.
No, we can work on it.
I think Lucas Bentel will sort you out.
Friends,
After
a little,
how well you and him got along. By the way, did you see this? Maybe, Welty, you can give MSCHF a little bit of credit on this. I thought this was pretty funny that the latest shoe that they rolled out and leaked, looks like sent a pair to the guy Yankee Kicks, who always has the early
socks.
leaks.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
famous Yankee Kick socks. And he's out there in the latest MSCHF Super Normal sneaker.
Would you be okay with never seeing those socks again in a sneaker photo?
Yeah.
Okay, that was simple.
Do you give them any credit for a kind of cheeky, looks like a rollout that is very, sneaker culture in joke of like Yankee Kicks has the early pair of the MSCHF shoes on?
Yes, they're super aware, and you got to applaud that. Do you?
Sure.
Small applause, golf clap, maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. That's the
what you want
most
me
you're
to
gonna
say.
get.
No, I just wanted to know.
It's the
I
most
will
you
say though, I don't condone fakes, but the one shoe that I do think it's 1,000% okay to wear fakes with, and
wait.
It degrades it is the big red boots. If you want to go buy a fake pair of those and go and wear them, I don't think it makes you any cool, less cool, whatever, than someone who has the real pair.
Okay.
So go out and buy a pair of fake MSCHF Big Red boots and do not pay resale on them. I will not judge you on
Where do you get
We're
those?
gonna do a deep. Speaking of fakes, we're gonna do a deep fake of this, where we take that clip of Welty saying, "Go out there and buy fakes," and it's gonna be some huge,
him holding
manufactured
the
scandal.
Exactly. Him holding the Bam Bam
Teddy
New Balance.
Santa's New
Exactly.
Balances.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Welty condones fakes, coming soon to a sneaker blog near you.
That'd be a day.
And there are, it looks like, already counterfeit MSCHF Big Red boots floating around a little bit, or you
kinda
could
seems like
buy
one of
them on
the-
some sketchy sites, DHgate or something like
One
that.
of the easier probably things to reproduce, it feels like, because it's just a mold. It's not
Yeah. Did you see this video that's circulating a little bit of the woman who's opening up, I think, a pair of Dunks from DHgate that are replicas and talking about how she doesn't care, and you look, if I can't buy them from Nike, I'm just going to get the fakes. And
I saw that.
it makes no difference to me.
I saw that. Was it the baby blue? Was it two-tone blue Dunks?
I'm colorblind. You're asking the
Okay.
wrong guy.
I thought it was maybe like the UNC Dunks.
Yeah. Okay. I saw it.
And they came with the fake StockX tag
Yeah.
on it.
This is such, I don't know if it's a generational thing, and I don't know how much we've spoken about fakes in general on here, but like the idea that on Reddit there's like a whole subreddit devoted to
Dedicated to like reps or whatever.
So,
yeah,
so one thing
unauthorized reps.
One thing I would say is like recently I met someone, a young kid, family members, cousin or something, and came up. You know, we were just talking about sneakers or whatever, and he was basically just out. He was like, "Yeah, like I wear a lot of reps," and I'm like, "Damn, I didn't realize like that's reps. So are reps like high quality fakes, or it's just
As
fakes?
they would tell it, yeah, replicas of the shoes, you know.
And it just, you know, I obviously was aware of it, but I didn't realize like that's like a thing where like people, you know, you talk about this video, it seems like some people aren't hiding it as much now because
it's just at the point now where it's like, I feel like we're so far down the rabbit hole on sneaker culture or whatever you want to call it, where we've spoken about this a million times. It's like, just because you have Nike Dunks or Air Jordan 1s or whatever, I'm not here judging or whatever, but not everyone who buys those shoes buys them because they self-identify as a sneakerhead, right?
Yes, so they don't play by the same rules as us.
They're just like, they just want the shoes, and that's totally cool. If you just want to buy Dunks, Jordan 1s, Air Force 1s, like whatever, just go and buy the shoes. Totally cool. But they're not trying to like fit into the whole sneakerhead world of like, you know, the 10 commandments of sneakerheads where like, thou shall not wear fakes, you know? So for them, if those sort of people, they go online and see that the shoes are expensive or they don't want to deal with Sneakers app and striking out and all that sort of stuff, I'm not condoning it, but I can totally understand how these people go, hey, looks good enough, might as well wear it. No one's going to say anything.
they were just offering up the information. I didn't even ask, you know?
I feel like,
so I was like, oh, interesting that like, you know.
I feel like they're like a lot of people who maybe are in that zone of just casual shoe wearers who buy into the same sort of models that maybe some of us are into. Their friends don't know the difference and aren't judging them off of if they have real Nike Dunks or not. So
To them, it makes no difference.
yeah,
It just feels like a generational thing. Like, I'm like, okay, like Welty said, this was bound to happen, I think, as sneaker culture got bigger and as more people got into sneakers, which is something we're directly responsible for in terms of working at a company where we're making sneakers more pop culturally accessible.
Yeah.
And I think that even though, what's the right way to say it? It's like, I feel like sneakers being so big are in part because of the work that people like us do. But it's like, did we not do the right amount of work to tell people that fake sneakers are not
There's only
cool?
so much we could do sometimes, and it's like I always have that like sort of like internal dialogue where people are like, if I say something, if I vent a frustration about a certain aspect of sneaker culture right now, and they're like, well, you guys are the ones who are like in the positions to educate people about shoes, right? And I feel like we've obviously done a lot of that over the years, right? But we've
Every week on the show.
But also it's circumstantial with this stuff too.
But we've also, I feel like we can all
Sometimes.
we can all agree too that we've also the one things that maybe people criticize us for is like you play into like the numbers game or whatever. Like we knew what was hype at the time, and you knew what the audience was going to react to more. So you would focus your energy on something like, not everyone wants to hear about Red Octobers all the time, but you knew Red October, Galaxy Foamposite, Yeezy, et cetera, was going to just get you more clicks and eyeballs and all that sort of stuff. And we still had a job to do.
It's the, like, you know, they do it on sports talk all the time. They keep going back and back to the same subject because, like, it could be one subject for the full day or weeks, and they just keep going back to the well because no matter if you are tired of hearing about it, they know that people are still going to tune in.
Certain things
and
get more
every
eyeballs.
different, peeling back the layers of, big shoes or big topics in sports. It's just how it goes sometimes.
But let me just say, we also balance it out because we do passion projects. You got Welty over here interviewing Rich Froning about CrossFit footwear. I just did a 2,500 word piece on the New Balance MT580. We have our passions that we pursue.
We do,
You see Sebastian Maniscalco on Sneaker Shopping more than once. It's a passion project, baby.
It's crazy how far it's come sometimes, and it makes, because we've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
And I remember, 2013, 2014, when obviously sneaker culture was a thing back then, but I even remember internally where there was a lot of talk of like, sneakers aren't as big as other things. And I get it. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. And all these people that were bigger then all have kind of interconnected now at some point, where back then it's like, no, Kardashian news, et cetera, like pop cultural Taylor Swift news is way bigger than sneakers. So sneakers
Still true, though.
don't matter, and I get it, but it's funny that maybe it didn't resonate as sneaker, just covering pure sneaker news back in like 2013 didn't blow up as much on the internet, but seeing all these years later, like all the dominoes fall and it all connect to now, it's like, that's the internet.
I'm trying to think of what the exact thing is. The meme where the guy is placing the little domino and there's a giant domino at the end of it. I'm trying to think of what the meme is for us, and in those instances, what you place on the small domino.
But have you guys felt that though? Just seeing like the escalation of sneaker culture to where, at that point when we were just covering like, this Reebok collaboration with some store in Europe, where it's like, oh, dude, that's so niche. Nobody cares about these
But
these ASICs.
Complex always gave multiple pages to sneakers. And like we were, there was others, obviously, Slam, but we were one of the few that I remember even like conversations being like, man, 4 to 8 pages every issue on sneakers. Like that was a thing back in the day that
like a fight.
Yeah, not even a fight, but looking through the page counts, on some issues, sometimes you were just like, really 4 to 8 pages on sneakers. It was because back in the day, not everyone was doing that.
But isn't it crazy to think that we were once at a point, say like 2006, et cetera, where like you got made fun of, or people thought you were weird or something was wrong with you, that like you were like a collector of shoes. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe not weird, but I do remember specifically, I think I've said it on this, but I just remember wearing the De La High Dunks, SBs, once to like a pool party in Bayshore, and someone trying to play me out, being like, "What are those? Like, what are those?
That's what I'm saying.
What is that?" Not weird or like they knew I was into sneakers, but like totally like in front of a group even.
Try to play you.
Yeah. Now look.
Do you remember who it was?
I do remember. I'm not saying it. Don't even try. I'm not saying it. But do I remember? Yeah. Everything's filed back in
like
here.
Michael
always.
B. Jordan, right?
Everything
you called me corny back then, right?
Everything is filed.
It's
It's
the corny
trust.
kid, right?
It's like you go from like
now they're asking you for Tiffany Air Force Ones.
I didn't say it.
we go from an era of like collecting shoes early on, where you only had 25 pairs of shoes, but then people would make all these like jokes about you being into shoes or whatever. They're like, oh, what do you have, a foot fetish or something weird? No, but that was just like jokes people would make about like early...
Terrible joke though.
But that was
terrible joke.
That was like an early sneakerhead.
They were trying to roast you in New Hampshire with the foot fetish line.
That's what you just
better
hear.
gave them bars back.
That's what you just hear from people. But nowadays, to see that like the footwear that we maybe like coveted in that era has gone from where the people who weren't into shoes at all, now it's like just now that's what everybody wears. Like we somehow got to a point where we champion these products to now it's just mass culture.
The vindication, the ultimate vindication. You know what this reminds me? This is a point that DJ Clark Kent, a guy who's been into sneakers as a collector, as an appreciator,
the king,
way longer than us. I guess maybe he would say he's
been collecting shoes longer. It's like
the king.
Longer than we've been alive.
You know what people are like? I got socks older than you, kid. Like
exactly, but he has
disses. I don't know.
Your dad never said that to you?
No, but like it's a funny. These are funny disses. But...
Same with my dad, but he has said this exact thing of like, I remember when collecting sneakers made you a weirdo. It wasn't cool. He's told the story of bringing women over to his place and then being like, what is with all these sneakers? Like, this is, you're weird for this.
I even remember like early on in sneaker culture, like that whole early streetwear era, there was like a popular streetwear t-shirt that kind of referenced that whole thing where it was like at the time it was like men weren't seen as like it wasn't okay for men to have a lot of footwear, and there was a streetwear T-shirt that said "Men are the new women," but it was a
Very progressive.
but it was a direct reference to at that point of like guys can have a lot of shoes, and it's like it's not weird.
I don't remember. Did you have the shirt?
I didn't have it, but I remember it being on like the Hypebeast
Are there
pages.
some graphics in the background to help
I don't-
explain it? Like, are there a bunch of sneaker
I
boxes? or just
sold
a-
out on digital graphics.
I don't
You're
remember,
gonna
but I
get-
remember it was like something that like Rob Hepler had back in the day.
Okay.
But
We need to get him on the podcast.
I would love that. Can I make some more connections to the Ultimate Vindication? Because
I know what's coming.
You know what's coming?
I was going to bring it up. I know it's coming because you stood your ground.
I stood
you
tall.
stood 10 toes down. I got added over the weekend.
What
And
was
you
it,
didn't
Joe?
waver on this. But I know what's coming.
Nike SB Air Jordan
White and
4
green.
collab.
Yep.
White and pine green.
hey, you know what? I know you don't like it just because of the colorway, but I think it looks pretty good.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what you always have. I always have to put a disclaimer out for
yeah.
Nike SB.
Okay.
You see, I wore these. I brought these back just to remind
Joe's wearing
everyone.
the
You
Black
know,
Cat Air Jordan
yeah. These
4.
are the ones for the past few years. Look, let's get it.
taking the
get-
shoe
are,
off.
get a
are you
close
saying,
up.
hey,
Yeah.
P-Rod, hey, Eric Costin,
No.
if you have any of those wear test samples laying
No,
around, Joe
not
La Puma
that.
would
Oh,
love-
are you banging
but
right now
no.
on camera?
What? No, but close to that PSA.
Okay.
Yes, I would have wanted the Black Cats in a Nike SB.
Air Jordan 4 collab.
However, what we learned from the eBay dunk, I see P-Rod, I see Costin wearing them in action. I could be convinced very quickly that maybe the white and green pair are for me.
You could come around on SB Air
Yeah,
Jordan
because
4
those
collab.
two,
the
those guys.
the gum sole changes it.
Gumsole, look. Put the close up on me, Joe. Not to appropriate Italian culture, but may I?
Ooh, chef's kiss. Did you-
Gumsole every time.
Look at-
Mediocre shoe.
Yo,
Gumsole. Chef's kiss.
But go.
no. If you
White
want to finish
walls.
that.
Gumsole.
Still on him.
Speaking of gum sole, had a random viral sneaker moment over the weekend.
Is it about the 4 or no?
No, not about the 4. Keep going
Okay,
with the
we'll
4.
get back to it, but keep going.
No, I know it's a random bit of sneaker trivia tidbits that we always like bring up, but I randomly tweeted out the photos of the Anthony Hamilton.
Excuse my language. That shit went off. I
did.
saw how many. Excuse my
It
language,
has like 900 quote tweets on it.
bro.
I
saw
hey,
the views. It said like 3 milli. I was like, damn.
Anthony Hamilton himself saw the tweet. It says, "If you want to talk about it, I'm game."
But tell the story. Gmo responded. Tell the story.
Gmo Wong, who used to work at Jordan Brand
But-
and helped design a lot of the product.
Yeah,
And you
energy
always
product,
bring up
top tier
that-
collabs.
Yes.
Yeah.
You always bring up that Anthony Hamilton has 1 to 23 Ps.
Yeah.
Air
We
Jordan
have someone
exclusives.
coming up on FSR who has some Ps that are classic.
Yeah.
But 1 to 23
He had said that-
PEs,
he had
his
said
own
that-
PEs. You always bring it up. It's a little welty fun fact. But
No.
yeah, I know. But you do
I
bring it
know.
up a lot, but this is
Gmo had
great.
said that he was at Jordan Brand and they had some sort of marketing competition with
Mm-hmm.
Melo, Kawhi. I forget who the other athletes were, but
Should I read it?
yeah, you
Okay.
should, I think you
Find
should
the
read
tweet.
exactly
As
what
long
he
as
said.
we're reading. It's a weekly read Welty's tweet.
So I got
Well, you're
the
actually reading a
laptop.
Gmo Wong tweet. You're not reading a Matt Welty tweet.
read the Matt Welty
Okay.
tweet too. We need Gmo on here.
Gmo, come
Gmo.
on. I
I
see you on
texted
Twitter.
Gmo and he was
I
like,
see you
"Ah, I
on
don't
Twitter
have
with the
much to
takes.
say."
We
You
don't
don't
want
have
to blow
much
up your
to
spot,
say.
but
You
we
were-
love it. Welcome. Come on.
Sorry, I'm like one-to-one talking right over you.
I
My
know.
bad.
Hold on. Let me just find this. Let me go to your tweet. You don't have, even though you've been tweeting a lot. All right, you've been tweeting a lot. Okay, I see, but let me see. Let me
Trying to
dig
test
through.
out that new algorithm.
Yeah, just stand by. Stand by. There's the Jake Paul. Okay, here we go. True story of how. All right, backstory from Gmo Wong.
Mm-hmm.
Me, him, Melo, Kawhi, and a couple other Jordan athletes, female track star in parentheses, were on an offsite where all the athletes, ambassadors were grouped up against each other to come up with a marketing campaign. My team won, and they all got to design their own 1 to 23 Jordan models. Crazy. That is crazy.
But so Anthony Hamilton, who
He's also holding the 8s like it's a Simba in the
Simba, yeah.
Lion
all of his
King.
shoes, for those who can't see or can't listen, all of his shoes are brown with gum sole. Every single one, and everyone's like, that's the most Anthony Hamilton thing
Yeah.
you would ever see. Everyone's like, oh, the Charlene 11s go crazy, the collard green ones, et cetera, et cetera.
I have to say, I would be so stressed out. What a gift and a curse if you won the prize of designing your own Air Jordans 1 to 23. I don't know if I'm ready for that pressure, that
I am.
burden. You ready? Oh,
All
flood it
black.
out.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it, right?
Stands up
With
out
the
of his
little,
chair.
you know,
Turn
maybe,
the video on if you're
yeah,
listening.
maybe the 8s I throw a little red. We'll see.
What's a triple black Air Jordan that they haven't done yet that you really want to see?
Can we get you in the murdered out 8s?
That's
well,
a dangerous shoe. That's
the 8s was a big finish line shoe with the chrome 8.
No,
the
but
black and
triple
chrome.
black Jordan 8s, that's a dangerous
Flooded.
What about a suede 11?
shoe.
Black suede 11. There were some samples like that floating around at one point.
A heavy black suede 11?
Black
No
sole.
patent? You don't want to shine on them? My barber
maybe-
Benny told me we were born to shine.
Maybe patent, but it's so tough for me because like 3, 4, 5...
6? Is there an all black 6? There's no all black 6, right?
No.
Black
It's like
and silver
the
6s
black and
I
chrome.
loved.
Yeah.
I loved the black and silver.
Or DMP
lows.
6s.
Also, fun fact, even though I don't wear white, the white and Carolina 6 lows, another one that I bought that never. There was a time where I was buying both colorways of every release. White French blue, Fabulous had it on in the video.
Of course.
With the jersey, I
Got
bought
'em from
those.
Master.
Yep, I bought those and I never wore. And the white Carolina blue 6 lows, big finish line shoe, and the black and silver lows I wore forever.
But also didn't realize too, like one of the tidbits that I found out, and I don't know if this is the exact connection. Anthony Hamilton from Charlotte, North Carolina.
There we
so
go.
I'm like, a Michael Jordan R&B fan. I'm like, oh, all the pieces are starting to.
Yeah. I can see
Very
it.
talented. Very talented.
No.
you saw what he did on Y.
Goats in their respective.
You saw what he did on Y.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
Joe.
okay,
I
all right.
almost
He's
missed the
been
cue.
talking a lot.
Joe was
Okay.
pointing to me. I almost
Wait,
missed the cue.
I think it would be the yin and the yang
Oh,
if
there
you
we
guys
go.
if you guys did 1 to 23 collections, because I have a feeling you would do triple black, but I could picture Brendan Dunne 1 to 23 like all white leather shoes.
Really? Reebok style?
Yeah.
Speaking about
Some
Reeboks,
garment leather.
wait, hold on.
Maybe
we got to
all white with gum sole 1 to 23.
listen.
I'm not mad at it. What? I mean, sorry.
We got to get back to these 4s though.
There's so many things I want to talk about.
Yeah, because like there was rumors that the Black Cat.
Wait. Sorry. We got to know what Welty's making his Jordans 1 to 23 look like.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No.
Just
No.
the head's just exploding in the kitchen.
I actually do like the brown shoes with a gum sole. That's like right up my alley. So when
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, these are some old like Unk looking shoes," that was kind of like the comments. I'm like, I can get down with it.
You like them?
Yeah.
Okay. Where
So
were we?
let's get all the way back to listen. There was tons of rumors that Black Cat 4 SBs were coming out. They proved to be wear tested samples, right? Is that what?
yeah.
But you never wavered. Never. Did you ever think you had maybe bad sources? Like nope. Because I got added a lot over this weekend. Like JLP is going to be disappointed, but
Everybody's fallible. You know, it was possible, but we felt good about it. We stood by it. I don't know. Hopefully, there's not some clip somebody can dig out of this podcast where I was like, maybe, but we
so.
felt good about it.
Just like everyone running with the Yeezy news over the weekend from.
We'll talk about that a little bit too.
We like these though, right?
White pine green SB Air Jordan 4.
like
Looks
it.
like a military blue Jordan 4,
Yep.
but it's green.
It also kind of looks to me like a shoe that like during the peak SB era,
Okay.
you would have just walked into a skate shop and you wouldn't have seen a Jordan 4, but like somehow that just like was something I would see on the shelf.
Help me understand that. Like, you mean 2005, you feel like this is a type of shoe that would fit in Nike SB's product assortment from then?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe not like an SB itself. Not a SB Dunk itself.
Okay.
But some sort of like team edition shoe. I could picture that white green with the gum sole just sitting on the.
Do you have a soft spot for the Air Jordan 4? Because one
I
of
don't
the
mind it.
only other Jordans that I remember you outwardly appreciating, Welty's not an Air Jordan hater. That's fake news. It was the Union Air Jordan 4, the guava pair.
I like
love
that shoe.
those.
I
Yeah.
love that shoe.
And now I'm hearing that you kind of appreciate the SB Air Jordan 4.
Well, to me, so this is a lot of what it is, and I don't think people understand is that I just don't like wearing high top shoes.
It's more of a mid, right?
Yes, but I don't like wearing high top shoes, like unless it's like some sort of like hiking boot ish
Yeah. The
situation.
bean boots, maybe?
Yeah, but I mean high top sneaker,
Okay.
like flat soled,
Yeah.
super high top. I just don't feel comfortable walking around in it. I don't even really like wearing Dunk highs. Like, I used to wear them younger, but Dunk lows. I'd much rather wear
You
Dunk
got to
low.
put in the photo of Welty, young
yeah.
Welty with the
Yep.
dunks
Yeah.
in his hand.
Classic one.
So for me, it's like a 4. It feels in the sole's not like a Jordan 1.
Yeah.
Like a Jordan 1 to me, even though I know it's an iconic shoe and I appreciate it for everything it is, I wrote the Jordan 1. People were surprised. I wrote the Jordan 1 blurb on the 50 best Nikes. People asked if I got in trouble at work, and that was a punishment. But just that combo of super high top, flat sole, don't like it. Jordan 1 lows, I like that shoe.
And Jordan 4s?
It's okay.
Can I quote Fat Joe?
Yes.
It's a fucking 4, man.
Endless summer fours?
Endless summer fours.
If you know, you know. Some fans know.
Well, speaking of knowing, we did put out the info there too. If you missed it, skate shops are going to get the Jordan 4 SB first on 317, and then Jordan accounts getting them afterward on 321, from what I know. Also, a little tidbit. Here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
Tie it all together a little bit.
Yep, let's tie it.
Did you know the late Sandy Bodecker, who created Nike SB, was a developer on the original Air Jordan 4?
I didn't know that.
Isn't that special?
Did not know that.
It all makes sense.
Easter egg.
Awesome. That is
That's what you come to the Complex Sneakers podcast for.
It's a knowledge dart.
Should we talk about the shoes we have on
Yep.
feet, since we
Absolutely.
talk about 4s a little bit, this and that?
Yeah.
I think everybody has described theirs except mine, so maybe I'll start us off here. Reebok Classic Leather 1983 TP. I'm feeling like the 2018 Brendan Dunne right here, if I
wow.
can refer to myself in third
Okay.
person. I'm not sure what else comes with that, but no comment.
I'd have to think. I'd have to think. Like I said, this whole podcast, Black Cat Jordan 4. They know the face. They know the name.
I feel conflicted.
You better come up with a cool tagline when you introduce your shoes.
I don't know. I feel conflicted wearing these. It's just like
Are those unds?
I wore these once.
Oh, they look crispy.
Yeah, I wore them on a show once for full size one. But 550s, not a bad shoe. I just feel weird. Like we're saying, it's one of those sneakers like of the moment where you see everyone who's not invested in being a sneakerhead. Just a lot of 550s out in the
Comes
world.
with some baggage.
I don't hate
No.
the 550 at all. It's just
No.
it's a ubiquitous shoe at this point.
Yeah.
These Ame Leon d'Or.
That is an Ame collab?
Yeah.
I lost track of them, to be honest.
Got them before they came out, so
Hey,
Shout out.
okay. there's the tagline. I do want to talk Yeezy, but also I know this is important, and it was briefly referenced. Do you guys want to talk about Logan Paul's fight?
not Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not important to me. I just feel like
Give
what do you
guys
have
want
to
to
say?
talk about
give it 2 seconds.
No, I thought it was. I thought the
Electric?
production was not great.
It was awful.
The production was not great. It's I described it. I'm going to order those fights every single time.
How
every
much do they
single time.
cost?
I think it was $50. Every single
I come
time.
over?
Absolutely.
You know what it cost me?
He's been there. He's ate Queen before. You were sick. Well, yeah, you did the.
You pirated the thing?
I don't pirate things. It just
Listen,
Which is what?
I don't know. I just watched it on my computer.
I have a question though. I have a question. First
Yeah,
day of snowfall, I think, was today.
yeah.
What precautions are we doing around the building as you?
Oh, we laid
I'm in the snowfall like
Yeah.
Teddy.
we laid out salt
No Santas.
last night. Melted all the snow. Was able to go to the gym this morning, get a workout in, and didn't have to worry about shoveling the snow and being late to the first shoot we had
And I'm
today.
sure like the residents were happy about
Yeah.
that. Did they
Yep.
say anything?
No one said
the
anything.
community
but-
board meeting. They're
Good
going to
job,
be
Maddie.
singing your praises.
They didn't
Yeah.
do it on the no.
I have
Yeah.
to say, isn't that a terrible sound to wake up to? That scraping of the shovel on the sidewalk.
Oh, it's
how
like
you
that's
know.
like
Yeah. Anything else on Jake Paul's fight?
No.
Welty?
He tweeted enough
was
about
was
it.
just good to kind of see the hype train die down a little bit.
What do you know what the footwear was?
We leave that to Ariel Hawani. He'll go.
And-
He has
He
Ariel
knows.
Hawani has a whole thing.
They
I
were
watched.
saying
He
Ariel
has a-
Helwani should have been the ref for the
Oh, Ariel Hawani has a whole take. I think it's like where Jake Paul goes from here. 55 minutes. I started watching it last night, but yeah, there's talks in Nate Diaz,
But you also, speaking of combat sports,
John Jones on the Yep, John Jones on the new episode of Sneaker Shopping. Go see that. We've been trying to get him for a while. Big fight this weekend.
yeah.
We'll see.
Look at this Pandora's box that I opened.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Do you think there's any possibility of one day getting Tyson Fury?
Yes, of course.
That'd be awesome.
And Connor.
I think I know who Tyson Fury is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
There's
Conor
only
McGregor.
one Tyson Fury.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Little Anthony Hamilton himself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Those idos. Yeezy at Adidas. Should we talk about this
Okay,
briefly?
so where we? I know that
People keep asking me
yes.
that.
Where are
This
we
is
at with it?
From what I saw online, and Brennan, just so this like a layman's kind of view, not digging too deep into it, is that people are saying that Adidas is sitting on $500 million worth of unsold Yeezys, and they supposedly struck a deal with Kanye to sell them.
Okay. Adidas is sitting on a ton of Yeezy product. Yes, $500 million worth of Yeezy product. We know that for sure. The extent to which they have reached some type of deal with Yeezy, Ye, to release this stuff, to me, I am still skeptical. And this has reached the point where it's getting to that pop culture level because I keep getting people who aren't that into sneakers hitting me up and being like, is any of this remotely true? I mean, I have to feel on some level like Adidas would have moved to shut this down if it weren't true at all. Although sometimes I feel like the things that Adidas does and their decisions are totally inscrutable. I've said it before on this podcast that a few people told me that it was legit or that there was some legitimacy to
Like
them
rumblings in the
reapproaching him. And I feel like I'm just regurgitating what we said on here a couple weeks ago, but I don't have any new news on it. I do think it's weird to imagine that they would have to re-engage with him because when this all fell apart, they kind of said, we own the rights to all this stuff, so why do you even need to strike a deal with him to sell it?
I think where it got maybe a little convoluted this weekend, and I don't know if it's true or not. My money is saying if you had to put $100 bet on it or something, is that they have not signed a contract to re-release shoes. But you got a bunch of kind of like that look legit, but like aren't legit at all Instagram accounts, like at Wealth, like putting out there that they have reports that that, and they're like, what even is this? You know what I mean? Like, we have X amount of million Instagram followers and we published it, but you're like, dude, you're not like a real news organization.
Yeah, and I think that these decisions around this stuff are happening at the highest level, and with all due respect to the people posting it, I still haven't seen any credible sources really confirm this.
That's just kicking around all this like
we don't have any new information on it. I wish we did. I hope somebody does publish something more substantial. I think one of the best stories I've seen so far was from the Washington Post, where they were looking at, and there was no new information in this, but just what would Adidas potentially do? And this is something I brought up on here a couple weeks ago with all this product. Do you sell it? Do you have to strike a new deal? Do you destroy it? Which is a terrible crime against the environment. Not a lot of good options. I'm totally comfortable saying I don't know what's going on with this thing. I hope we can get some more clarity on it soon. I don't have anything.
How many, not even to do the math on it, you say $500 million worth of product.
Yeah.
How many shoes is that?
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know if it's calculated at wholesale or retail or what. So yeah. I mean, I think we'll see some form of Yeezys in the market somewhere down the line, whether it's without the branding or whether they're continuing to make the stuff or whether they just flood it out at a TJ Maxx or something like that.
Total exact, like when you hear like, there's a lot of smoke around this. There's a lot of smoke. What's going on is like there's a lot of smoke around what's happening, and like it just keeps bubbling up. I feel like we get like a new thing every few days that this is actually going to happen.
But we've also seen in the past too, just like via our relationship with this industry, where like Kanye, Yeezy, the whole PR team are kind of masters of trying to like plant seeds to further his own wants and desires within his business.
I agree,
rumblings.
And this is pure speculation. Let's put the big tag on all this. But it feels like he maybe doesn't have quite that structure around him anymore. So I don't know if it's as calculated as it once would have been, that there's this rumor out there that they're signing a new deal with him. I don't know.
We'll see.
You know what we do know for sure? One of the biggest sneakers of the year is right around the corner, at least for me personally. It's a white shoe.
I know what it is.
White cement threes.
Air Jordan 3 Reimagined with the Nike Air on the back. These are actually also in the rear view a little bit because they just did that surprise launch on the SNKRS app. I suspect neither of you tried to participate.
It was a shock drop, but by the time it was already happened, like in my group chat, it was like, these just shock drop. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know.
You do have a group chat that's that active around this stuff where you guys will text each other if there's a shock drop on sneakers?
Yeah.
But you're not clicking in?
No.
You try sometimes.
Yeah, once in a while, but you know, I mean, we were doing other stuff. I think we were at work that day in the middle of the day when it happened.
Yeah. I just remember if you sign up for push notifications on sneakers, you get so much bullshit. And 90% of the time, in my experience, looking at whatever thing sneakers is trying to tell me is not going to be worth it. And usually I would just, glance over real quick and clear it out from my notification center. But I did actually look, and I was like, oh my God, I want the shoe. I'm happy to pay for the shoe retail price as soon as I can. And so I was furiously clicking through on the sneakers app, and we know how the story goes. Any guesses?
Got an L.
Got an L. Did not get the Air Jordan 3.
There also was some sort of like weird moment where people were like waiting for confirmation on the shoes. I think a lot of people got that. They didn't get the L right away, but
it took me a long time.
Yeah.
My thing was like I was waiting in line for quite some time. These are coming out on March 11th.
But I'd like a pair.
Yeah?
I'd wear them.
Why didn't you click on the thing?
I have
the
the
group
sneakers
chat?
app. I don't have notification. I got the notification like 5 minutes after it happened. Not notification, but I'd heard out.
This is a shoe you can't pass up.
Yeah.
I have the one from several years ago.
I know we've been here before. The
What
clear
year?
sole or the 88
It has the
one with
Nike Air on the back.
88 threes.
What year was that?
2013.
Okay.
That was a Nike exclusive, I think.
That was peak 23rd Street office era. Like,
You look worried about what he's going to bring up right
no,
now.
I'm just saying that shoe. Like, it just reminded me that's like old school complex.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
The cement box, right?
Yeah.
Had to be the black.
I don't know. I didn't have them.
I think
never
so.
got to touch the product. I
Sneaker
never got
Box
to touch the item.
Clyde, Russ, like that. Nick
Shouts to
Engvall, like
Russ.
that whole era.
Russ telling a lot of great stories on his Instagram.
Yeah, why don't you come tell those stories on the Complex Sneakers podcast?
I tried.
Ride
Maybe
your,
he'll
ride
change
your
his
bike,
mind,
ride
but I
your
get
bike
it.
to Midtown, Russ.
Yeah.
Joe, will you get these?
No.
Because there's just no chance you would wear them.
Not going to get these.
What if you?
What was there a shoe that? I have an. Go ahead.
What if you were to do the whole like dyeing it? Wouldn't that
No.
be pretty nice?
Pre-aged?
No, I will do.
Let
I have
Lorenz paint a sunset across the upper?
I have professionals dye my shoes, and they're usually Air Max 95s. If you Lorenz.
Indigo dyed.
Ooh.
I don't know. On a white leather 3 is not my thing. No.
I think that would look pretty nice.
Maybe, but I don't know. White leather dye is not the thing to me.
What's the thing?
So what I was saying is like when I have to sometimes I have that thing that we just talked about, the pine green 4, where like I'm not into it. Then
Because it's a white shoe.
yeah, you look at it a few more times. Oh, I need this. Like some things I dead set like no, I do not need this shoe. I'm not going after it. Love these, obviously the historical value of the
Jordan free throw
Jordan,
line.
of course, but it's just a
released
shoe that I have to just like breeze over, and another shoe that I have to breeze over that's topical, the Supreme Air Bakins.
Yeah, I'm
Not
doing,
into one. You
I'm doing more
immediately
than breezing over them.
one.
I'm
You
not even-
immediately take me out because it's all white, but the other colorway not my favorite, and plus I have the ones from the red ones. I just wish
The
that
OG colorway?
Yeah, I just wish that. I don't know.
But just to tie a bow in the last one, it's like
Put a
they
pin
did-
in it?
Yeah, put a pin in it. I don't know that whole
Tie a bow, same thing.
Whatever
the
idiom you choose.
whole fake corporate talk of
Oh.
people who do meetings for
Put a
livings.
pin is
Yeah.
more corporate than tie a bow, right?
I don't. No, I'm saying I don't know all those.
Okay.
sayings.
Man of the people.
The most recent retro of the white cement 3s had like that clear sole with the
yeah.
free throw line through the sole on it.
Yes,
Yeah. So maybe that's where some of the audience, that was maybe their first introduction to the shoe.
remember
you know?
those. But yeah, these Air Bakins. I don't know, man.
You know
What is your group chat saying?
No, so it reminds me. I remember working at Foot Locker when the Air Bakin got retroed for the first time in 2007, maybe, or 2008, one of the two, around that era. And the store that I worked at, this was, I think Astor had alluded to this, where it was like not all product got distributed to different like neighborhoods and whatnot, and they kept it very central in that period. So it's like we didn't get a lot of retro product because I was working in a suburban mall at the time.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, our old manager used to work in Boston, and he got all the shoes like transferred to our store. So when the Bakins came out, he got the Bakins transferred to our store.
They weren't supposed to have them?
No, but he
A
had
bunch of pair or just for him?
no, like maybe like 8 pairs or something like that.
Wow.
He got like
You didn't get a full size run?
No, he didn't even get a full size run. But
GC.
we had gotten the black ones, like just a few pairs, but we also had gotten there was a white, navy, and orange pair
You
that
remember
came out.
those?
Was
I don't
that in the
remember that
Stussy
at all.
lookbook recently?
Oh, the old pair of Bacons that they put in the lookbook.
Yeah.
And
I
think
people
so.
for a second were like, "Oh, is this a Stussy Bacon collab?"
Yes.
These were in the lookbook.
It's all tied together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that shoe had came out at the
That's a
same time, and I
baller.
remember getting those in the store. And for whatever reason, seeing the new Supreme Bacons, and
Yeah.
somehow like it has like that weird wonky colorway on it.
Yeah.
It kind of takes me. I don't know why it takes me back to that shoe.
I brought the Bacons back just in time. Feel like
Yeah,
a
you
little
had
bit.
it. Yeah, I had it curve a little bit.
And for,
right?
and for those who
And I got
don't
them
know,
for-
because we want to inform people,
Yes.
right? Because it's maybe we take it as everyone knows this, and we don't put it out into the world.
Yeah.
Air Bacon, when it first came out, was worn by Tim Hardaway in the NBA.
Used to cook the Knicks.
So the controversy behind that shoe was Nike had the air symbol on the back
Yes.
of the shoe. And it was called Bacon. It was supposed to look like flames, and
Yes.
it was on fire. But if you looked at it away, people thought it said Allah.
Yes.
So there was like a huge controversy.
Yeah.
People still at me like, are those the ones with the Allah on the back? And
Yeah, you had to change the
they're
logo.
not. They're not. And I meant to say brought the Bacons back out, not brought them back. Humble,
Yeah. But that's the
Yeah, important history around that
the
sneaker.
cultural reference
Yeah.
behind that shoe.
So Dunne, you're not into them.
No, I wouldn't wear the Air Bacon. It doesn't not a shoe that would look right on my feet. But the group back in the day was CARE, the Council on Islamic Relations. I think they had kind of helped raise the issue with Nike of them feeling like this logo, air and flames, look like the Arabic word for Allah. And yeah, the shoes don't come with that on the retro version. We'll probably never see that logo again.
Yeah.
Supreme Air Bacon, so
Yeah, not my favorites. Gonna pass those. Gonna pass on those.
far from my favorites. Welty, you mentioned neighborhood. Here's a seg for you. And I want to take you to Nike's neighborhood retailers and their marketplace partners in general across North America. You could see a little scoop on this on Complex this week, but I
Oh, yes.
got access to Nike's slightly updated February 2023 North America product launch policy. And this is an interesting one because these are the exact rules that Nike has set for retailers in terms of how they can release shoes. So they differentiate between high heat product and general releases and what they're supposed to do
There's
with
some
certain
interesting
shoes.
tidbits in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of this stuff isn't particularly new, but it's the first time I've seen it really like spelled out.
Some of the craziest little tidbits, and I want you to go through.
Yeah.
But that I found reading it was that so Nike says that you can't use the shoes for charity.
Yeah, you can only tie the sneakers to a charity if you have prior approval from Nike.
And you can't use them around. It was charities and giveaways.
What is
Right.
that? Well, you mean buying in bulk?
No, so the idea
it.
of saying, "Hey, we're doing this." This could just be a total example. Say, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're doing a charity to help the earthquake victims in Syria, right? Right now." So instead of being like, "Hey, we're gonna donate money, and if you donate $500, you get a pair of Air Jordan 11s," right?
Or you buy a raffle ticket and we're going to raise money for this charity, and every raffle ticket that you buy qualifies you in a drawing to get a pair of white cement Jordan 3s.
Yeah.
You can't do that without the
Got it.
prior
All the proceeds are going
consent
to
from
okay.
Nike. Yeah, this is part of a section on here. And again, this is broken down in full detail on complex.com. Go read that. But there's a prohibition section where it says, retailers can't charge for drawing entries. So like if you're releasing a high heat launch product at your store, you can't sell a raffle ticket to it, nor can you, unless Nike consents to it, have it tied to a charitable thing. Also, like one of the interesting things too is I think they're trying to push out the integration of apps like CopDate, who help facilitate these things for stores, where like if I'm a sneaker store and I have a limited edition shoe dropping, I might host the launch on this app CopDate to help create a drawing.
Wasn't Cop Date always like a dumpster fire? I feel like every release that happened on that, there was always issues.
People
There
had
was
a lot of questions about CopDate, I think.
I feel like the biggest one that was a disaster in recent-ish era was the Skunk Dunk 2.0 that was hosted on Cop Date, and that was just
Yeah, I think one of the other things too is on CopDate, if you're a retailer, you can allow people to boost their entries where they're paying to have a slightly better chance to have their sneakers.
I think the Huff Dunks too also
selected.
recently went through
Yeah,
Cop Date.
but basically that's part of it is you can't involve these third-party places. You can only sell on the approved platforms.
One of the other parts I found interesting, given my own history in retail, was that Nike set, there's always release date standards, but they set time standards.
Yeah, the marketing embargo around when you're allowed to talk about these shoes. And again, a lot of this
I
stuff
thought
isn't new.
signage- stuff?
No. Not that. I thought on the release date it said the shoe can't be released before, and I forget like what they.
Oh yes. The exact timing. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
on release day. Basically, they line it up with SNKRS app, so like the shoe shouldn't be released before 10 a.m. Eastern,
Because
7 a.m.
Oh,
Pacific.
got
there was
it.
a time period where this is like 2011, 2012, where we had like an arms race to see who could release the shoes first in the mall.
Yes.
And the customers got mad about it, but we do like a 4 or 5 a.m. release
lot of
to
times.
get ahead of the next store.
A lot of times, oh, you're dropping them at 8, we'll do 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. That used to happen back in the day a lot.
And then I mentioned this, there's this distinction made in here between general release product. I think we all kind of understand what general release is. Like, it's coveted, but it's not super limited, versus high heat product, which is like the collabs or Travis Scott Jordan, or things that are
Jordan 11.
yeah, harder. Well, I think Jordan 11 would probably be more general release, but
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
guess that Cherry 11 would be considered high heat.
Yeah. I think so.
maybe, I don't know. But Nike has distinctions around these types of shoes and what you can do with them. So if it's a general release product, you can do a first come, first serve, come line up at the store. If it's a high heat product, according to Nike's North America launch policy, the store has to work toward having a drawing, a raffle type situation.
Unless there's
That's
some
preferred.
sort of circumstance that doesn't allow them to.
Yeah, but they make it clear in the launch policy, like, that first come, first serve for high heat product, the top tier stuff shouldn't be a thing, which I think is kind of a bummer. We were talking to Matt from corporate.
Yeah, where he thought that was the future, or
Yeah,
wants
just
that
do
to be the
first
future.
come, first serve. But Nike's kind of saying, like, you shouldn't do first come, first serve on high heat product unless you absolutely have to. It's also guidelines around, like, the high heat product, you can only do one per customer. They have looser guidelines around general release product, but it's like it should be limited, or like it should be limited in a way that you are deterring resellers to some extent. Yeah, it's a super interesting document. Like I said, it's not like groundbreaking or like a crazy
Subtle
scoop, but-
changes that will make a pretty big difference potentially.
Yeah, I think so. I guess we'll see how much the landscape changes. Also, an interesting part about product security, like the shoes have to be stored in a place where you have
Security cameras.
yeah, or
Interesting.
like an alarm system or things like that. I mean, and I think that this policy speaks a lot to, and it's something we've alluded to on here, the lengths that people have to go to release limited edition shoes.
I think we had that at Foot Locker back in the day. Not every store had it, but certain stores kind of had like shoes would be locked up out back.
Was that the case at
No.
Finish Line, Joe?
No, we would have them in boxes, cameras in the stock room, obviously. But
Yeah.
never locked out back. I don't
Really?
think.
Like, part of this is that only specific people should have access to shoes, like only the employees for the store and their contractors. Like,
Or the super janky version of it, I remember. So you would take so you're out back in the stock room, and there would always
this is
be
at Foot Locker?
yeah, and there'd always be like that one, the one that maybe was like kid sizes in the corner where there's 2 aisles and there's like just like in the corner and there's like a little alleyway in between it.
Yeah,
and
you
had to-
put it
could-
on the side.
Yeah, but you could climb up. Remember, you could climb
Yeah.
up on
Whoa,
through it because they
whoa.
were so close. They were so close. But
Yeah.
Wait, you're scaling the shelves?
yeah, you'd put like one foot on one
You were
side
like
to get
Mario
up to the
going
top.
up the ladder
And-
on
and
Donkey
because even
Kong.
if-
Because
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
them had the sliding
Dangerous.
ladder, but sometimes you'd be like
The slide ladder,
You'd be
yeah.
rushing to get the shoes to someone,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Crap!" There's some of the small corners didn't have the slide
Yeah.
ladder. And you'd have to go and get a ladder and put it over there. So you say, "Screw it! I'm going to jump up and
Yeah.
climb in the back." But you would put the shoes in that corner and then take duct tape and like cross it off like a
Quarantined area.
a crime scene.
We
and,
never
like
did that.
It
This
was
is
like
for the
it was
coveted
like
stuff?
It's like yeah, or like Jordan 11's like, "Do not touch until."
This I love this little detail in here, by the way, Welty rushing to get the product, because this is the best example we've heard yet of him being really on top of the customer service in
Exactly.
the retail
Yeah,
days.
Look at you.
I was
Scaling the
so
walls to
here's
get
the thing.
the customer.
I was
Don't ask for an insult, but he'll get you. He'll
my definition of customer service
Interesting.
is getting someone the product they want and getting it to them fast and making the purchase as seamless as possible. It's not showing them 17 different pairs of shoes
Yeah.
and trying to upsell them on something that they don't want. Someone comes in, I'm going to run to that back and get that Air Max 90 in a size 11 3 times faster than the person who's going to sell you socks and insoles, and you're going to be in and out of that store. What do you want more?
All the extra BS
And you
that
know
the
what?
corporate wants
And
me
you
to
know
push
what?
on you, I'm not worried about
And
that.
you know what? I'm making more sales and more commission than you. Because
He's
I'm
faster.
selling more sneakers all day. So
Oh, interesting. That sounds like a challenge. You have a little bass in your voice. That sounds like a little challenge, and maybe one day we'll pull up to them all and see who could outsell.
Oh my God, I would
Yeah.
love that as a
Sell
in-store
off?
activation. Yo, for
Sell off.
Hold on, some sponsor could come in for the Complex Sneakers
Put it
podcast,
out there.
and
He
we can have you
listen.
guys in disguises, you know, with some hidden cameras and stuff at a big box store. We could go to JD Sports right here in Times Square. We could go to Foot Locker.
We could go wherever. You know,
We could go all around the
his
world.
camera's right there, but it felt like it was a little directed to me just now. We'll see.
Were
We'll see.
you challenging Joe?
No, I was just saying to everyone. in
To the
general.
world.
Okay, but maybe that would be fun. A Saturday morning, pull up, work a boat like I used to.
The boat.
9 a.m.
Excuse
to
me? Work a
9 a.m.
boat? Boat
9
is
a.m.
all
to
day,
11.
all day.
Yeah, 9 a.m. to
Boat's the
10:30
name of
p.m.
the shift?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if you had
9 a.m.
Usually you'd have the morning or night shift.
Yep, used to
Be
do
like
Monday.
working a
Monday
double.
10 to 5.
Yeah, gotcha.
Monday 10 to 5. Complex in the city, 9 to 6 or whatever with the commute. Wednesday 10 to 10. Boat. And then Thursday back at Complex interning, and then Friday I think it was 10 to 5. Saturday 1 to 10. We don't have to go through it, but a boat. Listen, a boat. You had the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just
open
like
to close and
dude.
Titanic.
9 a.m. 9 a.m.
worst thing
to
ever.
and especially if it was busy and there were holes in the wall, and it like you're
That
about
sounds like the Titanic.
well, you're about to
Dude,
close holes in the wall.
Holes in the wall.
So listen,
and then,
done.
And then,
Listen,
what
and
is
then
this? What is
missing,
this?
missing a hole in the wall.
Forget
Stop,
it.
stop, stop,
So
stop.
the plan,
Back
if
way
you,
up. What
okay,
is a hole in the wall?
sneaker wall, right?
The displays is if you sell the shoe off the wall,
You're
and you don't,
supposed
and you
to
don't
immediately
refill
replace it. When it's busy though, and you know, like he said, he's trying to get as many shoes as
or
possible.
you sell the last. You sell the last
Yes.
shoe. So there's no more.
and
we
you're
don't have that
supposed to.
SKU.
You don't have that
exactly.
SKU anymore, so you have to replace it.
You're supposed to tag. If it's on sale, you have to take the sale tag out. But when it gets busy, there was a lot of holes
Yeah.
in the wall. So at closing, one of the biggest tasks, it would be like, who's on the men's wall? Who's on the women's wall? Who's on the kids' wall?
Filling the holes.
And we would look back in the store and be like,
You have to
"Oh,
reprint. You have to reprint the SKU from the system or whatever. And Foot Locker back in the day, I don't think Finish Line had to do it. You had to bar lace the shoes.
no bar lacing.
Bar
We didn't do
lacing?
that.
Yeah.
Why are
We
we
didn't
bar
do that.
lacing
Because they
the
thought it
shoes?
looked.
We
They
didn't do
thought
that.
it looked whatever, and it was the most annoying thing ever because a customer would know it was a. You'd always try to hide sometimes that you try to be slick out back and like try to take the display shoe and then switch it out to another one and already have the one ready to go so you could stuff. Because if you went up to a customer or like a particular, say a sneakerhead customer at the time, which were few and far in between, but you got to sell them like a Jordan Retro and it's the one on the wall.
Yes.
They don't want that.
Yeah.
So you're like, how the heck am I going to get this off on them?
Sometimes I would
so
take
if
10% off.
you would know, no, but you would know in your head, you're like, wait, I know this is the last one. I'm going to take this shoe out back, put it in the box, and then replace the one on the wall, and then bring it out.
Wait.
So
I don't understand.
Okay, so listen. So say someone asked.
I'm
the,
sorry.
Okay,
I've been
I
paying
got it. I
attention.
got it. The Jordan 3 white cement that's coming out, right?
Yeah.
You're a size
now you're
9.
speaking my language.
Yeah,
I'm
you're a
10.
size.
We saw
okay.
Granite Device.
Okay, you're a size 10. There is a size 10 left.
But you already knew it going out back.
So
that this
you
the
asked,
last
can I
one's
get
on
a
the
10 in
wall.
the white cement? He would sneakily, if he knew the 10 was on the wall, take it off,
Replace
put
it
in
with an 11 and then put the 10 in the box.
and come out. Here, Mr. Dunn. Here, Mr. Dunn. Here's your reimagined white cement 3.
Didn't you just tell us about how you
it-
were always cutting around the bullshit
Yeah,
to get
it wa-
them exactly
exactly.
what they wanted?
But hold on, getting back to the wall though, on
Hey,
Saturdays.
that's efficiency. I already filled the hole.
Getting back to the wall though, on Saturdays, the kids' wall. Saturdays, the
Kids' wall's
parents.
a disaster.
Why?
So
Because you didn't have as many kids shoes to
selling,
begin
there's
with.
tissue paper all over, so it's 8:30, right? It's 8:30. You
You're on the
got
boat.
there at
You're
9
driving the
o'clock.
boat.
Yes, you got there at 9 o'clock for a boat. Some people called it a stretch. We called it a boat.
Yeah, we called
I
it a
also
boat, too.
remember.
Little boat.
I also remember I would reward myself on those days.
Orange Julius?
No, Friendly's boneless tenders. Buffalo spicy boneless tenders. That
The
was
look
the
in
lunch.
your eyes, the
I was,
gleam
yeah,
right now.
because I may
We're
go
in
back. I may go
2003.
back one day. They
For
don't
us-
have Friendly's. Listen,
For us, it was always a Sarku double the meat.
amazing. Yeah, you feeling froggy? Double the meat. They put the 2 toothpicks in. Yeah, that was a treat for the. But you had to find your ways to reward yourself. But it's like 8:30. The mall closes at 9:30, and you're just looking at the wall. And if there was like holes, bro, you were there for so long.
But
Unless
God forbid, you forgot to fill one of the, say you're the assistant manager and you're not opening up the next day and the store manager is opening the next day and you forget a hole on the shoe wall,
Yep.
you are getting an angry text message at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Me just flipping the T-Mobile sidekick. Who did the wall last night? 9:05.
You were calling people out?
I was the manager.
You had to do it.
Listen, who did? There was 3 holes.
What's
what
an
happened?
unacceptable amount of time for there to be a hole in the wall? 5 minutes? Is
No.
5 minutes is fine.
You could go through a whole Saturday when it's busy with holes
hole
not
in the wall?
Yeah, but like it's it's not great. But the wall was the biggest task And when you had employees who were like who took pride in it, it was like the best thing. Oh, we got so and so on the wall, and they like knew how to do it. And then when you didn't, you would do a wall check at night. And some of the shoes, right? Some of the shoes, the lazy. They would just put it. They would do this, right? Literally, no tag, nothing. They would take it out of the box.
They would still have the
no stuffing,
cardboard in it. Yeah.
No stuffing. They just put it on and like a finish line where
we had to put the shoe forms in the shoe.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You would just literally, you would go on, you would just check the thing, and it would just be empty. No tags, nothing. If it was on sale, nothing.
Also, I don't think I mentioned on this. R.I.P. the sneakers. The first Foot Locker I ever worked at, they closed it. Fox Run Mall, Newington, New Hampshire. So that mall, like my parents, like they go there and they walk my niece around and whatnot. Okay. And there's like not a lot of stores in there.
Yeah. The mall, the American mall is dying.
Yeah. So Foot Locker, I mean, a lot of retailers are just shuttering, whatever. And my parents went by and they were like, "Oh, the Foot Locker used to work at went out of business."
Man, that sounds really. I didn't know that there were such struggles. My college job. I was cleaning a toilet at a card shop, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not great. What are you trying to say? He's trying to downplay the.
No. Do you ever go back, Brendan, and kind of regret that? I remember we had Astor on here last week, and he said that Betsy Parker told him that like if you want to work in this industry, the most important thing you can do early on is get the
experience working
in a shoe store. Do you ever regret not doing it early on?
I have so few regrets in my life. Okay, there's about 3 of them. But I do wish I would have spent some time in sneaker retail, and maybe in the future,
what do you think you would be?
Put my time in eventually.
Stock room.
I can't. I
could see him looking at the allocation number. I could see him. No, you guys do the salesman. I'm going to be in the allocation numbers in the stock room. I could see you maybe as a stock person.
I can't comment on where I should be in the store. You guys should let me know where you think I would play the best role on the team.
Well, listen, if we do,
in-store event.
I think.
What would he be?
That's what I'm about to say.
Okay, go.
Brendan is definitely the on-floor manager who's not concerned with selling. Who job is basically if something happens in the store, you're gonna be the guy who like breaks out the corporate language or whatever and explains to the customer, "Sorry, sir, according to our release date policy, we can't do this. Absolutely. If you have any issues with the way that we release sneakers in the store, here's a number you can call the corporate and contact them."
Listen, according to provision 15.1, it is actually in my right.
I have the launch policy right here on my phone.
He just like a quarterback, he has the little wristband with all the plays and the provisions. What would I be?
You'd be the go-to insole salesman on the floor. There's always that person
on your knees.
There's always the one guy. There's always the one guy or girl on the floor that would be like. There's the one person where you have to mark down your accessories where you'd have the insoles, cleaner, socks, whatever. But there'd be the one guy who had like 19 insoles, and you're like, how the heck did you get that many?
And then, I think.
What about our friend?
Yeah, the obvious place, and maybe this is where we can end is. What esteemed position would you be holding in this place of business?
Just like sales floor lead, like pushing people to go faster.
Okay.
You would be pushing me to sell insoles, right?
Or just be like, "Yo, you got to go over there and talk to that person and get the shoe fast and come out with it."
I thought he was just going to say manager or something.
Okay. No.
Branch manager.
We need to do that. We need to pull up one day.
What'd you call?
I still have dreams that sometimes I'm working back at a sneaker store.
Oh. Good dreams or bad dreams?
Just like, oh wow, I picked up a shift and like I know I don't like
anxiety.
I don't know I don't need to do this, but like I do have dreams like I picked up some shifts and
I remember back in the day I used to pick up Foot Locker would have like the DVD of like the songs that they would play and it would be like the music that'd be playing.
It's on a DVD?
Yeah, music videos.
Oh, cool.
And we had CDs, but
there would also be commercials and stuff too, but it would be like a 3-hour clip.
Ooh, what if we got one of those DVDs?
So if you
have one of those DVDs,
it would be a 3-hour clip of just the music or whatever. And I worked in New Hampshire. I don't know why, because for suburban stores at the time, it was all European techno music. It was no like actual recognizable songs. Then when I went to like a more like Massachusetts, closer to Boston store,
big city store.
Yeah, they'd be songs that you knew. Like at the time they're playing Kids in the Hall with Estelle.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Common that whole Finding Forever era. But you'd hear the 3 hours, you'd know what song was coming on next.
100%.
That sounds like hell. That
Okay,
sounds like
okay.
hell.
So, but here's the thing: we didn't have videos, but we would have. It would just be like, for weeks, and then, in a span of 3 weeks, you would have to replace the CD with the playlist.
But sometimes they wouldn't know. But sometimes the corporate would send it. You'd be waiting for it, and sometimes it'd be like they'd forget to send you a new one, so you'd have the same CD for 2 months.
It was all this weird. It was a lot of alternative music, but then
You couldn't just put on your own playlist?
No. I used to do that once in a while, but you'd get if someone walked in, you'd get in trouble.
And I'd be the guy saying,
Oh,
corporate
you couldn't
said
do
we
that.
couldn't do that.
But I would be out with my friends afterwards, and you'd hear these songs, and it would just be so stressed from work. So I'd be out at a bar having a drink, and one song from the DVD would come on, and all of a sudden I'd get this
Snapped.
get this anxiety of I'm back at work, and
Eyes glazed over.
couldn't relax,
Foaming at the mouth.
But also they would pepper in some rap songs, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Under the register, all it was a knob, right, to turn it up, and then 2001, We Gon' Make It comes on, and I would just turn on, blast it throughout. Go ahead. let it breathe. There we go.
Before
2001, I would just blast it to the point where sometimes my manager would be like, "It's too loud. It's too loud." But it gave me that jolt during those boats that I needed.
But Foot Locker never played I don't want to say cool stuff like that. I feel it was super mainstream. It'd be like Beyonce or this is Kanye 808's era. You would hear Heartless 9 times a day at work, and then you go to Foot Action and you walk in and they're playing Rick Ross BMF or Tiger Rack City, and you're just you're like,
that was
why can't we just listen to this in the store?
Yeah.
That was way, but one perfect one I remember vividly, Steal My Sunshine. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was definitely on the finish line.
Stewart,
Yes,
remember
that was
that.
definitely
Come
on
on.
the finish line
Steal
playlist.
my
And then
sunshine.
there was so many. There was a lot of guilty pleasures where you're
Was there
working.
any Anthony Hamilton?
Might have been.
With some
Cornbread?
no with Jada.
Oh.
One more to
Oh,
take
yeah.
us
Why? Oh, so you want me?
No. Yes.
One of the funniest comments I saw on the last week's episode, and
Oh, no.
someone brought it back to the Big Body Best full size one episode, and they said Aster wasn't having Sharif's. I forgot that Big Body Best called Brendan Sharif.
Oh.
What, my interruptions, my interjections?
No, he wasn't. They weren't having when you did the
I did
Jada
Jada
laugh.
laugh, yeah,
He
he-
wasn't impressed by it.
No,
Oh yeah.
no reaction.
Well, listen. The Jada laugh in the next episode was not great either. Okay, he did a little better this episode.
Here's the question though. The one thing,
the question?
one more retail tidbit. Your terminology? What did you call the shoes that that were sitting on the back counter that you hadn't brought back yet?
Drags.
Yes.
Take these drags. God, I remember.
Run the drag.
have
It was
nightmares
busy.
tonight.
It was busy. They
You
all.
were-
You
you were
didn't
on
want
my
to
bed?
put. You
Listen,
didn't
you were
want
on
to
my-
put. You didn't
oh.
want to put them on. You didn't want to put them
Bro.
on right behind the counter, which was the easiest part because then that's where people could steal stuff. So you'd have to line them up underneath the counter so no one knew that there was just shoes sitting
And then
back
on
there.
busy,
right under the volume knob.
on
And then-
busy days.
Joe, run these drags.
Oh, if you were in a dickish mood, someone was bothering you.
Hey, you got to go run these drags back.
Yeah. You're not helping it. You're not helping anyone.
These drags aren't going to run themselves.
They're just on
Yo,
the wall.
you need something to do? Go
no,
run the drag.
You're just on the wall, everyone's working. Someone's is like, "You helping anyone?" No. Take these drags back. Terrible. Fuck. Excuse my language.
Imagine. Again, I hope, I pray, I beg
do it.
Our Lady Fate that we can set up an in-store event where we're doing this, and we're selling sneakers like this covertly with hidden cameras. And I can't wait for the moment when it all becomes so overwhelming to you, Joe, that you tell Welty or me to go run the drags.
No. Well, you know what? I'm not wearing the uniform. I'm breaking the uniform like I used to, and
No,
I used to always get in trouble
blend
when I
in.
walked in with the 17 OG Low Lightnings, and they said, "Where'd you get that?" And I left the blue peel sticker on. It looked like it was blue. It wasn't. It was the sticker. I left the sticker on. We're gonna put that in. Sean, put that in.
The only thing,
Yeah.
the only thing I'm going to say, Brendan, and this,
Tell me,
this
tell
is
me, tell me.
foreshadowed in the next episode. So, you know the reason why you need to be able to build upper body strength if you want to be a real shoe dog.
Yes, tell
Is
me.
you- is-
Because
how-
you need to go on the ladder
How,
all day in the
how are
stock
you going to
room?
jump up? How are you going to jump up the aisles and go grab the shoe at the top? If all you
Imagine, imagine when we can add that into the
Fine.
in-store challenge we do, where there's
Yeah.
a pull-up activity in the middle of it, where you have to get up to the.
You have to
the
go
Jordan
climb- you have to
1
go
lost and
climb.
found on
Feats
the
of
top
strength.
shelf.
Feats of strength.
There were definitely moments where there'd be like the shoe all the way at the top, and you're like, "Well, I need to go get this quick." In the back of your head, you're like, "If I fall, like it's just gonna be."
Yeah, but my vertical is fine.
Insane.
You know, I have a good vertical. I won't need to climb. I have a good vertical.
I'm picturing Welty pulling him up shelf by shelf.
I don't even need to
up.
climb. I could probably.
You should do it on camera.
Maybe one day. All right. That's it. Damn.
We've touched on everything that people wanted us to touch on.
One last thing that
you said that already. Go ahead. That's fine. We got time.
No,
We're having
but I
fun.
picked up. I was rewatching I've talked about this a million times. Rewatching the Aster episode over the
People
weekend.
love that. Shouts to Aster.
Aster Chambers.
You know,
thank you.
Brendan, you love all the super insidery sneakers stuff.
I live for it.
So I was watching your reaction on one moment where I've never seen you went, "Oh wow,"
The euphoria,
and
the
you got
pure
super
joy.
excited. Is when
The ecstasy.
Aster mentioned that he had been at like the cultish Ekin tattoo sessions, and when he like pulled that like veil in front of you, the look of excitement on your face that you were about to hear about this secret society of Nike.
The Nike version of the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Pure
We're gonna get
passion.
flagged on YouTube for saying Bohemian Grove at the end of this thing.
It's pure passion, baby. All right, everyone. This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. We will see you next week.